Yeah, good evening to you all. I welcome you all to this discussion on wavelet transform and empirical mode decomposition. The important aspects of the wavelet transform and empirical mode decomposition will be discussed in this class. So, prior to that, historical perspective of transforms. I think all you know that Joseph Fourier is the first one theory of frequency analysis. So Fourier series, Fourier transform, and a continuation, discrete time Fourier transform, discrete Fourier transform, something, it's continuation. So after that, the Weiss, Kaufman, Grossman, and Morlet, they contributed good amount of information to the wavelet transform. And finally, in post 1980s, Stephen Mallat, Y. Mayer, Ingrid Debeshis, they improved in application oriented. And the professor Ingrid Debeshis, madam, presently she is a professor in one of the foreign university. Still, she is taking the classes for the students. She contributed more and more to the application of wavelet transform to communication, signal processing, and other aspects. So I always love to see the Fourier photo. That is a Fourier series. Any periodic signal can be represented as sum of mutually orthogonal signals. All cosinusoidal signals and sinusoidal signals are orthogonal to each other. That is, if you integrate if you integrate it over a particular period of sinusoidal and cosinusoidal signal, its value will be zero. They are mutually orthogonal signals. And so you can see these three persons, Ingrid Debeshis, yes, Mayer. Mayer has been, I think, in the 2020 May, has demised, in Mallat. So Debeshis madam is a distinguished professor of mathematics. Rahul. Oh, okay, right. Now it's okay, Rahul.
Yes, sir, it's fine, sir.
Yeah, okay. So these persons contributed more to the development of Fourier transform theory. So she will give one of the interesting topic, the tips on how to generate creative ideas and a couple of career tips. Just you can refer this. So before going to the Fourier transform, I want to give one information here that Fourier transform. Fourier transform, all you know the formula of Fourier transform. If a signal x of t, time domain signal, its Fourier transform is x of j omega is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of t multiplied by e power minus j omega t dt. The e power minus j omega t term is called generally basis function. It is generally called basis function of Fourier transform. And see here a simple example. A 2 Hz sinusoidal signal, a 20 Hz sinusoidal signal, a 10 Hz sinusoidal signal. These three are added and the resulting signal is shown here. It's a typical time domain signal, addition of three pure sinusoidal periodic signals. And resulting signal is also a periodic signal. Resulting signal is also a periodic signal. So frequency information is needed everywhere in a communication, in a biomedical engineering or whatever it is. information is very much needed, frequency domain information. But the problem comes in next slide. See here. So Fourier transform formula, just now I have mentioned that e power minus j 2 pi ft is called as e power minus j 2 pi ft is called as a basis function. Right. So stationary of a signal, important point here, try to understand this point. A signal with the frequency content unchanged in time, that is, all frequency components exist at all times. The signals what I have taken in the previous slide. The periodicity of a typical signal I have taken in the previous slide is continuously, irrespective of time, its frequency will not change. A non-stationary signal, its frequency is continuously changes. I can give a beautiful example, that electrocardiogram signal or photoplethysmographic signal. These two are periodic signals, but the period of the signal is not constant. It continuously changes. When a human being is running, his heartbeat is different. When he is sleeping, his heartbeat is different. So the period of the signal is continuously changing with reference to time. When the period is changing, frequency information is also changing with reference to time. Fourier transform gives frequency information only. Frequency with reference to time cannot be given by the Fourier transform, like ACG and PPG signal. So we want frequency information continuously with reference to time. With reference to time, we want the frequency information. So see here. So a stationary signal, I have applied Fourier transform. Its frequency component is so like a 2 Hz, 10 Hz, 20 Hz. But a non-stationary signal I have generated here, wherein peaks continuously changes with the time. So at the time, its frequency is high. At this time, the frequency is low. So, but it's not giving that information. It's only giving the frequency content of the signal. So I want the frequency domain information of a signal at each and every instance of time, which is the beauty of the wavelet transform, which addresses this problem. So a non-stationary signal, stationary signal and non-stationary signal. So one more example. The same signal, it's continuously changing. It's giving frequency spectrum like this. We are able to see which frequency component is there. So at what time the frequency components occur, Fourier transform cannot tell. Fourier transform will not give that information to you. So nothing more, nothing less. We'll continue to the next level. One of the intermediate one is short time Fourier transform. Short time Fourier transform. That is, its formula is Fourier transform formula is multiplied with a window. Window may be a short window or large window, but it is called as a short time Fourier transform. But it will also have some disadvantages. I don't want to discuss more about STFT and its drawbacks. Just you read the information from any of the book. That is, drawbacks is unchanged window and dilemma of resolution. Narrow window, poor frequency resolution. Wide window, poor times resolution, and cannot know what frequency exists at what time intervals. So this is the drawback, just giving the resolution, poor frequency and time resolution because of the window selection. But this is important. Generally, we call it as a multi-resolution analysis. It's a wavelet transform. Width of the window is changed as the transform computed. So we'll see, just defining here, we'll see with the formula. We'll see with the formula. This is the formula. The formula is 1 by under root of s x of t dot psi star of t minus tau by s dt. This psi is called mother wavelet. So far I have shown the figures of some of the scientists. Each and every scientist has developed his own mother wavelet. Davies has been developed his own, Mayer, Mallat, each and every person, they developed their own mother wavelet. So mother wavelet is a small wave. So we'll see in the next page, but try to understand the signal processing perspective in this equation. That is t minus tau. It's a shifting. Tau is a shifting function. T minus 1, t minus 2, nothing but it's a delayed version of the mother wavelet. T plus 1, t plus 2, it's an advanced version of the mother wavelet. Then second parameter is divide by s. That is one more beauty. Divide by s. X of t will be there, x of t by 2 will be there, x of 2t will be there. It's a compression and expansion of the signal in time domain. X of 2t is compression, x of t by 2 is expansion. So this is the formula of continuous wavelet transform. Wavelet transform is function of tau. Generally we call this parameter as a translation. S is a scale. So we'll see in the next slide. So this is known to us. S is equal to 1, dilate the signal. S is less than 1, compress the signal. Just now I have mentioned x of t by 2. So compression and expansion of the signal. See here, this is sin t. This is sin 2t, compression. Sin of 4t, still compressed. Here I can view this as sin t by 1. This is sin t by 1 by 2. This is sin of t by 1 by 4. Scaling factor is equal to 1, 1 by 2 and 1 by 4. Scaling. Again see here 2, 2t, 4t, same example. But see here, this is the different mother wavelet. This is a different mother wavelet. Scale. So idea here is that taking a mother wavelet, shifting from first part of the signal to the last part of the signal continuously and taking its correlation value, it's a multiplication value, and identifying. So this is an example, one signal. I am taking this a mother wavelet, shifting from first to last with small scale and large scale. See here, it's a compressed one, here is an expanded one. In all cases, I will take the magnitude, the multiplication of the signal with mother wavelet, and taking integration, nothing but summation. So this is the case how it identifies, it takes scaling and shifting property. scaling and shifting property. So it is one of the figures provided in the book. Also, will you read better with the book resolution and time and frequency. So this is the beauty of the wavelet transform. See, suppose a typical signal like this: sine 2 pi 100t, sine 2 pi 200t, sine 2 pi 400t. Between 0 to 0.5, between 0.5 to 1. So it is giving the information. The y-axis is frequency, x-axis is time. It's giving the information that 0 to 0.5, it is having frequency 100 Hz. 0.5 to 1, it's having frequency 200 Hz. From 1.1 to 1.5, it's having 400 Hz. This is generally called spectrogram plot, time frequency plot. So, a continuation, a sinusoidal signal, generally we call it as a eigenfunction of the system. Not required, or basically here, sinusoidal is eigenfunction of the system. That is, if you apply a sinusoidal signal to a system, the output is again a sinusoidal signal, the change in amplitude and phase. That is the beauty of sinusoidal signal. So orthogonal and orthonormal basis function. If you multiply phi I of t, phi j of t is equal to 0, where I is not equal to j and is equal to energy, some value other than 1, that is orthogonal. Orthonormal, if their I is equal to j, its value is 1. Orthogonal, orthonormal. So this is a typical examples for orthonormal basis function. You multiply these two, its common area is 0. You multiply these two, its common area is 0. This 0. And if you multiply with the same function, it gives 1. It multiply with the same function, it gives 1. This is another example. These two are also orthonormal. Multiply these two, it gives 0. If you multiply the same function, it gives some value. Say 1. So this is not required actually. Wavelet. This is one typical example, but Morlet of wavelet. This is e power j omega naught t e power minus t square by 2, and this plot is real of this mother wavelet. It's a real of its mother wavelet. So this is the thing actually required for us. We will do discrete wavelet transform. We'll do discrete wavelet transform. Wavelet decomposition. It decomposes the signal into frequency of interest. So, given signal is first passed through a low pass filter and high pass filter. Then down sample, that is decreasing the sampling frequency. That is decreasing the sampling frequency of the signal. So, this process, the output of low pass filter, we generally call them as approximate coefficients. Output of high pass filter, we call them as detailed coefficients. Approximate coefficients and detailed coefficients. Output of low pass filter and output of high pass filter. But this process is an iterative process. That will be shown in the next slide. This is the iterative process. X signal pass through a low pass filter, approximate. Pass through a high pass filter, detailed coefficient. Again, low pass signal is again passed through a low pass filter, high pass filter. Again, the low pass signal is passed through a low pass and high pass. Likewise, it's wavelet decomposition tree. So, wavelet decomposition tree. A series of high pass and low pass filters. A series of high pass and low pass filters. See, this is a diagram drawn by the MathWorks people. For X signal, if you apply wave DEC command, it gives C coefficients and L coefficients like this. We'll discuss in detail by considering an example in the next sessions. Next slides are actually corresponding to a typical example. When you apply wave decomposition, wave DEC, it gives a C matrix and L matrix in the MATLAB. C are coefficients. L is the length of individual coefficient. CA3 length is this one. CD3 length is this one. So likewise, you see an example, you can able to get the exact idea of what it is from this example. So this is one of the example I have drawn, that is level decomposition. That is, see here. Here I have done three level. This is first level, this is second level, this is third level. But I have done a level decomposition. And each coefficient contain which frequency components is presented here. We will discuss this afterwards by considering examples in the next sessions. So in MATLAB, wave DEC command will decompose the signal of interest and gives C and L matrices. C matrix gives the concatenated, approximate and detailed coefficients. L matrix gives length of each coefficient. And using wave reconstruction command, you can get back your original signal from C and L matrices. So these are the MATLAB commands that can be useful for our work. So actually in the next slides, I have given some examples how wavelet decomposition and can be useful for denoising. We will discuss this with an example in the next class. Thresholding, how it decomposes a signal. So this is original signal, this is A3, D3, D2, D1. How can you get these plots with an example, with the program I have given? This we will discuss in the next sessions. Beautiful examples are there. How a signal is decomposed into different levels. That is about wavelet decomposition. It is about wavelet decomposition. These examples I will discuss in the next one. So good number of MATLAB programs are also there. So after performing a 6-level decomposition, MATLAB gives C and L. A6 may contain 100 samples, 200 samples or whatever it is. Length of L, first element is length of A6. D6, length of D6. D5, length of D5. This is how you'll get in MATLAB. C and L coefficients. So this is typical examples I have considered ECG signal and how it is decomposed. I have seen that in the next cases. So next point is this empirical mode decomposition. Empirical mode decomposition is derived by N.E. Huang in the year 1998. That is very interesting point is that to represent a signal as a sum of components, each of them being a zero mean AM and FM component, amplitude modulated and frequency modulated components. So a simple equation likewise. So how IMFs will be generated using EMD will be explained in the next slides. And one thing is that EMD looks like a transform, looks like a wavelet decomposition, but there is no basis function for EMD. In Fourier transform, we use e power j omega t as a basis function. In wavelets, you have different other wavelets, but in EMD, you don't have any basis function. And you may get a doubt that then why these are called transforms? But here It derives the basis function from the signal itself. There is no predefined basis function. There is no predefined basis function for EMD. It derives the basis function from signal itself. So I will give steps of this empirical mode decomposition. See here. So this is a typical signal I want to decompose using empirical mode decomposition. First step is identify maximas. Second step is identify minimas. Third step is take the average. I will show you with the slides. Maximas and minimas. I will show you the slides. See that. Actually, it's in this. It looks like a very small component, but here red colors are there. These are all maximas. Now maximas will be minimas. Then maximas are joined envelope, that is interpolation of all maximas. Now interpolation of all minimas. Then average of maximas and minimas. Average of maximas and minimas. Then extract the detail x of t minus m of t. So likewise, these steps will be continued to give empirical mode decomposition. See the steps and try to very simple mathematical operation. Every signal, you identify minimas and maximas. You continue this iteration until you do some stopping criteria is there. You can see from the slides afterwards. That stopping criteria will stop the decomposition. That is, identify the maximas, get the envelope of maximas. Identify the minimas, get the envelope of minimas. Take the average of maximas and minimas. Then this subtract this average value from the original signal and proceed further until you don't have maximas and minimas in your signal. That is empirical mode decomposition. So this process is giving the important aspects of wavelet transform and giving wavelet transforms and the empirical mode decomposition basics.